COVID-19 confirmed in the past 24 hours in New Zealand. The locations of these new cases are 4 in Wellington, 1 in Taranaki, 3 in Auckland, 1 in Waikato, 1 in Taupo, 1 in Manawatu, and 2 in Nelson. This brings the total number of COVID-19 cases in New Zealand to 53 confirmed and 4 probable cases. Most of these cases are travel related, but as yet, in 2 instances, no link to overseas travel has been ascertained, and we continue to investigate. So, at this point, we cannot rule out a risk of community transmission in these cases. So detail for each of the 14 cases will be on the Ministry of Health website as it is finalised. The website will continue to be updated as fuller information is received. We always knew that cases apparently not linked to travel would happen, and we are prepared for that. And it is now more important than ever that we continue our efforts to track and trace individuals who may have been in contact with confirmed COVID-19 cases and get those people into self-isolation so that we can contain any further spread. Physical distancing is of course fundamental to our collective response, and we ask all New Zealanders to conscientiously play their part in following the guidelines related to social contact and the ban on mass gatherings larger than 100 people indoors or 500 people outdoors. Both are on, those guidelines are on the Ministry of Health's website. So the number of new cases is in line with what we've seen in the last few days, and around 1,500 tests were processed yesterday and overnight. 3 of the confirmed cases are in hospital. A man in his 60s is in Lakes District Hospital in Queenstown. That's the same as yesterday, and his condition is stable. A woman is also in hospital in Nelson, and she is stable. And there is a further person in a stable condition in North Shore Hospital. On to cruise ships. So, as you would have seen through a media release yesterday, an Australian cruise ship, the Ruby Princess, which left New Zealand 5 days ago, has had 3 Australian passengers and 1 crew member test positive for COVID-19. So swabs that were taken on board the ship were tested once the ship berthed. It arrived in Sydney on the 19th of March, and the results from those swabs were that there were 3 passengers and 1 crew member testing positive. So we are in the process of contacting the 56 New Zealanders who were on board that ship, and that includes 28 who have already returned to New Zealand. A reminder that those who have returned to New Zealand already, and of course those coming back still, will have been captured by the requirement since the 15th of March that all travellers returning to New Zealand go into self-isolation for 14 days. We are now considering all those people on that ship as close contacts, so in addition to being in self-isolation, they will be monitored daily by health officials. So details of the movement of that ship and a further ship, the Celebrity Solstice, which had a confirmed COVID-19 case of a New Zealander on board, can be found on the Ministry of Health's website, and our media release will have that link. Finally, just in terms of this weekend and providing support and ensuring that people are well, especially those in self-isolation, a reminder that self-isolation does not mean social isolation. Physical distancing does not mean social distancing. It's really important for mental well-being that we stay connected with each other more so than ever. There are many ways to reach out to people through phone, social media, online contact, even if you can't visit them in person. Talking to people and checking in on others keeps us all connected. And as I say, this is more important than ever. The smallest and largest question you can ask